Today I'm making a big piece of meat. I'm making pot roast, which is fantastic, great, make ahead, really easy, feed a crowd, great leftovers. To start off with, you get a big piece of meat. This is a beef chuck. So it's got lots of internal marbling, which is great because that all like melts into the meat and makes it really tender. And all of these internal pieces will just melt down in long slow cooking and make the most delicious pot roast. I always use chuck. You can use like a rump roast or something, but I find that those are a little bit dry. So start with your chuck. Salt and pepper. So heat some oil in a large pan. I'm doing this in a Dutch oven. It's gonna cook in the oven on a low heat for about 4 hours, so you need a really nice heavy pot to do that in. Get the meat into the pot to start browning. And now you can season the other side. It might seem like a huge amount of meat, and it is a pretty big piece, but you'll notice as it cooks, it really shrinks down. I have 3 large onions, and then cut your onion into wedges. This is gonna add a lot of flavor to your sauce. This is 4 cloves of garlic, needs to be chopped. Turn this baby over. It's gonna be a little hard, so if you have 2 pairs of tongs, you might wanna use that. It gets easier, I promise. There we go. But look how nicely browned it is. Really nice. Give that just a couple more minutes on that side and let it get brown. Now the original recipe just calls it throw everything into the pot as it is. I like to take my meat out and saute everything just a little bit to build some flavor. And I'm gonna use some wine and I want to deglaze with that. Add your garlic into the pan. You can turn it down if your pan has gotten too hot. I have mine on a medium high, so I feel like it's totally fine. Stir it around just a little bit, get it fragrant, and then add your wine. This is a half a cup of wine, and it is optional. Stir that around. Scrape up any brown bits from the bottom of the pan. Add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. You could do this first with the garlic and cook it off a little bit too, but the wine is reduced quite a bit, so it's okay to add now. A teaspoon of dry thyme, and add a little bit more salt and pepper. 2 cups of beef broth or chicken broth, either one. 2 bay leaves, and then you can put your beef back into the pot. It'll get easier. Add it in. And you can see the liquid's not totally covering the meat, and that's what it's supposed to be. That's what braising is. You brown your meat, and then you add liquid, and it usually comes about 1/3 of the way up the meat. The onions can go in, sort of nestle them in around the meat. Try to get as many of them into the liquid as possible. Poke them down in there a little bit. You want to return this to a boil, and then cover it up and put it into a 350-degree oven and cook it for about 3 hours before adding the remaining ingredients, which are some carrots and potatoes. It's very simple. Peel, cut into 1.5-inch chunks. Veg go in. Carrots, which actually take longer to cook than potatoes, believe it or not. So I like to put them in first so they get into the liquid, and then the potatoes. Poke them down into the liquid. I like to return it to a boil on top of the stove. Keep it nice and hot, because adding these vegetables is going to reduce the temperature a little bit, so every little bit helps. And then right back into the oven for another hour. The vegetables need to be tender, and so does the meat. This is done. It needs to be skimmed because a lot of that fat, remember I was talking about what was gonna make it really tender and delicious? Well, now it's sitting at the top of the pot. So I wanna get rid of that before we even start thinking about eating it. You might get some of the juices, but I'm more prone to getting rid of the fat than saving every single bit of the juices. This is an excellent make-ahead meal. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna stop skimming now. Have a nice big platter for serving. It should be kind of delicate right now, so you have to be a little careful. And if it falls apart a little bit, don't worry about it. Oop, there goes a piece. It's okay. Now, it's pretty hot, So you probably don't want to slice it right away. You want to let it rest a little bit. Surround it by the vegetables. You think, yes, I want to make that thing because it looks so incredible. Well, if you're not thinking that, you should be. You can spoon some of the juices over the top. Then you can serve more on the side and people can spoon it over their plates. It's a nice light broth, which is fantastic. But if you wanted to, you could thicken this and make a gravy. You don't have to, but it's definitely something that people do sometimes. That's pot roast, you guys. I'm just gonna take a little tiny bite off the corner over here. It fell off already anyway, so I might as well start eating it. It's succulent and tender. Oh my gosh. So good, so easy. Tender and delicious pot roast. Enjoy.